Welcome back to News Geelong as we continue with tonight's bulletin. The Geelong Gallery provides an art gallery whose collection and programs are of the highest standard, engaging the community through education and participation throughout the Geelong region and the nation, as Meryl Friend reports.
The Geelong Gallery has been appointed a new education officer in Gail Frost. Now, Gail has a rich and diverse background in teaching art and visual arts and media, and she's been able to do lots of curriculum work with teachers and writing resources for them as well. So she's a fabulous person to have as the education officer role. And we're joined with Gail Frost, and you are the new education officer here at the Geelong Gallery. What does that job entail for you, Gail?
Oh, I'm delighted to have been appointed to the position. I have a past history in art education and have been in semi-retirement for the last 4 years, writing curriculum for people like Film Australia, National Gallery of Canberra and the Australian Packaging Council.
So how many schools are you likely to be working with each week?
Probably around 10 to 12 schools would come in. Some will come in and want the educational officer working with them, and some will come in on self-guided with, in some cases, material supplied by us to support those tours.
Oh, well, we wish you well with your new career.
Thank you very much. I'm really thrilled.
From the Geelong Gallery, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. The Geelong Highland Gathering has been running since 1857, staging all popular sports as well as piping and dancing, attracting the best pipers and dancing from all over Australia. But the big question is, will the gathering return to its original home at Queen's Park in 2011? Colin Mockett reports.
Now, Bruce Harwood, former Mayor of Geelong and current major events holder, you're the bloke who's really in the hot seat when it comes to the relocation of the Geelong Highland Gathering. Just to put the viewer in the picture, the Highland Gathering has been held at Queen's Park for the past 50 odd years, but last year it was moved to Fynesford Common because of a clash with the cricket.
Yes.
Where's it going to be next year, Bruce?
My understanding is a little bit the Fynesford Common.
Again?
Yes. There was a quite a long discussion about the Highland Gathering being retained at Queen's Park. The Highland Gathering is a hallmark event for Geelong, and that event will not leave Geelong. We have given great financial support and in-kind support to that event, and will continue to do so. The issue we've had is the re-establishment of the ground at Queen's Park, which unfortunately suffered very badly in the drought.
Colin Mockett, News Geelong, Digital 44.
Thank you, Colin. City of Greater Geelong councillors have committed to a new $45 million multi-level city library on its current site, overlooking the city's central Johnston Park. The creation of a new iconic library will act as a catalyst for visitor numbers to Geelong's cultural precinct, as Meryl Friend reports.
Here at the Geelong Library, it's now 50 years old, and the plan is to have a whole new redevelopment of this area, cafes and other things as well. So we're able to speak with Councillor Barbera Abely about the hope of a whole new redevelopment for our Geelong Library.
This library is part of the Arts and Cultural Precinct, which of course includes GPAC, the Courthouse, Youth Arts and the Geelong Gallery, and of course City Hall, which is the oldest functioning city hall in Australia, which is pretty rare.
So you were saying before, the library is actually 50 years old, so it is ready for a facelift. And you're saying that there are a huge number of people that come through the library each year.
Well, we estimate that there are more borrowers and more contacts made in the Geelong Regional Library than attend home games for the Geelong football matches down at Skilled Stadium in a year, and we've actually got stats to prove that. So we think that's a pretty darn great investment, but it just goes to show too that people still believe that books play a valuable role in their lives, both from an education point of view, but also from a social interaction point of view. And we were talking before about the importance of being able to turn a page in a book. It's hard to turn pages on a computer. The Geelong Regional Library is a very, very important part of this precinct, and it's the cornerstone as far as council is concerned. It is hugely important. But it not only services Geelong people, but also others from the Borough of Queenscliff, Surf Coast Council, some people from Colac Otway who work in Geelong may be part of the membership here, but also Golden Plains as well. So it's not just people living in and around Geelong. And I've got a card here, which I will show. There we go, and that's a great plug for the Geelong Regional Library.
At the Geelong Library, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. I should pull mine one out as well. World Environment Day for 2010 aims to be the biggest, most widely celebrated global day for positive environmental action, as Meryl Friend reports.
Saturday the 5th of June is World Environment Day, and as part of that, the Geelong City Council workers have taken off their lunchtime and come down here at the Hyatt Wetlands down near Buckley's Falls to do some tree planting. Now, Matt, this was just an overflow drain before this work started.
That's right, Meryl. It was just a dam. Just a detention basin that just had the stormwater flowing straight into the Barn River. So it was a vision of the Friends of Buckley Falls for over 10 years now to do an enhancement of this area, and we got a wetland design which is best practice to treat the stormwater flow, reduce the pollutants going into the river, and also beautify the area at the same time. So it's been a really good project. Yeah, so it's a really good benefit, environmental benefit and a social benefit. It gets more people out, a little path network, a little bridge around the site, gets people interacting. And
there's also another location they're planting as well?
That's right, Cowie's Creek in North Geelong, so in the Out Cryo. So that sort of handles our depot out at Cryo, and there's about 60 people planting out there as well. Yeah, just to sort of celebrate World Environment Day, and get the message across.
I'm joined now with Tony Woolford, who is the convener of the Friends of Buckley Falls. Now, you've been a tireless volunteer working around this area for quite some time, Tony.
Yes, actually, about 25 years ago we started.
So over the last 25 years, what sort of things have you been involved in down here?
Well, mainly getting rid of all the introduced weeds and boxthorn and the English trees and shrubs which proliferate on the rivers.
So have you been involved in any of the planning of these redevelopments?
Oh yes, the one we're at today, that actually was my idea. I've been trying for 10 years to get a wetland here, and last year I was fortunate enough to get some money from Parks Victoria, who gave us $5,000, and I was actually going to build a wetland here myself with an excavator for a couple of days. But when I put this up to the Buckley Falls Management Advisory Committee, to my delight, Matt Jackman, who you've had on earlier, said that the city would like to help with that going, and I'm just so delighted with what's happened here. The cooperation we've had between Matt as the engineer in charge and myself, and sort of with the design and the planting has been absolutely fantastic. So we get on extremely well together.
From the Hyatt Wetlands, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. And by the way, viewers, the gentleman in the white top with the green cardigan around his waist, who seemed to be finding the ground extremely hard, Brent Dew, a former Matheson medal winner, best and fairest for the Geelong Football League back in the 70s. Well done, Dewey. This is News Geelong as we go to a break and return with the world of Geelong sport and weather after this.